Nothing is going to change unless you put your feet to the ground and say, I'm digging my heels in. I know it's going to be hard. I know I'm going to have pushback. I know it's going to be requiring me to put time into it. When all my friends are out there running around and clubbing and doing this and chasing tail and doing this and doing that and drinking and having fun on the weekends, no, I'm going to be in these charts studying. I'm going to be living my life differently. But they're still going to be out there trying to chase tail, broke as fuck, driving a beater fucking car, and ain't doing shit in their life. And you'll be able to pull down annual fucking salaries on a week. You can't even imagine where you're going to be. You can't even imagine it. Whatever you think is your level of success, it's not big enough. It's not big enough. You have no idea when you strip all these limitations that you put on yourself. You shackle yourself with your own mindset. You do it. This is all I can see myself doing right now. When you start making $100,000 a year, you start thinking to yourself, well, shit, that wasn't all that hard. I thought it was really hard. Well, now I'm going to aim for $500,000. And the attempts that you do that, you get there in less than half the time. And you start thinking, well, shit, they say the first $1 million is the hardest one. I'm about there. Boom, in a couple more months, and then you're there. Then you look back and say, $1 million isn't all that much money. And yeah, it took some effort, but it didn't take as much effort as I thought it was going to take. And then you start making $5 million, $10 million. 15 million, 50 million. And I know I'm talking in numbers none of you can fucking comprehend, but it is what it is, folks. It's just math. It's just math. You're compounding the efforts of what you're able to do on the smallest form. In that little cookie cutter mold that I'm going to find 5 handles in the S&P to begin with. And I'm going to let it grow till I can start doing 8 and then 10, or start with 20 in NASDAQ and work towards 30 and 40 to 50. You only got to do them a few times a week, folks. And as your equity increases, you can afford to do more contracts. That compounds, and you keep adding it more and more and more. But the level of risk is always the same. Whatever you associate in terms of your risk, I'm not going to risk more than 1%. But I can't get rich trading with 1%. Bullshit. You can get rich trading with 1/4 of 1%. You have to submit the time. None of you want to do that part, but that's the part you have to submit to. That's the first thing I submitted to when I first started trading. I had a 20-year plan. Imagine me writing a book. How to be successful and retire 20 years as a trader. Nobody's buying that book. Now, in the 80s and the 90s, that would have been a great title because everything was around what? And for you younger folks, you ain't going to know this, but it was all mutual fund. It was when mutual funds and fidelity. Everybody was trying to get people to invest in these mutual funds. And they were projecting, this is what you should do. Average is 12% return on stocks over the course of the years. You put this much money in, your money can compound. You'll have $1 million by the time you're whatever. So I was like, well, shit. If I can make 12% in a mutual fund a year, what happens if I start making 12% a month? And then what happens when I start making 12% every 2 weeks? And then what happens if I make 12% a week? And what happens if I can compound my efforts and find trades that yield 12% in the same day? Suddenly, all these big numbers that were fearful for me as even contemplating as realistic ever to reach for, they became reachable. Because I'm not increasing the level of effort in my trades. All I need is the setup. And as the equity increases in the baseline is whatever it is at the time, it's 100,000, 250,000, 500,000, $1 million account. Whatever that is, the risk percentage is never increasing. So whatever you've adopted as your model is, this is what I'm going to risk. It's going to be 1% or less. It's going to be 0.5%. It's going to be 1/4%. You're trying to tell me you're not satisfied risking 1/4 of 1% of $1 million if you have that in your trading. Okay, it's real money, not funded bullshit. It's real money, and you're able to take down a setup that yields 5 to 8 to 10 times what you're risking. Really? You don't think that that's a good living? 50 fucking grand a week? You can't get rich? Oh yeah, you're fucking great. That's rich. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You failed math. but you have to give yourself time.
Yo, good morning, boys and girls. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy NFP Friday, everybody. What's up, K-Van Chan? What's up, Mace? What's up, William? What's up, Wolf? Good morning, Chris. Yes, hit the like button if you'd be ever so kind, boys and girls. Still a little bit dealing with a head cold, boys and girls, so I do apologize in advance if my voice sounds a little raspy or hoarse. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, Market Maker Slayer? What's up, PEJW? Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So obviously, as you guys know, got ourselves a fantastic little NFP Friday. We got prelim consumer sentiment coming out at 10 a.m. as well. Remember, this used to be a red folder. A lot of times still reacts like a red folder. So we'll be mindful of that around 10 a.m. But looking at these charts, let me hide that for now. But taking a peek at things, might as well start on the weekly. And we did end up seeing this weekly candle reversing higher after ES rating its previous weekly low. And then NQ did not. So we created an SMT divergence with previous weekly low. Looking here at the daily. Getting out of all of these overlapping volume imbalances. We'll probably clear things up a little bit, but overall, it's hard to think that price doesn't want to draw towards or isn't drawing towards these highs. So here on NASDAQ, equal highs here, 22,111. Not saying that it'll get there today. I think it could. It's NFP, so we could see a lot of volatility. We could see price move up to those levels potentially. Oops. And then we got relative equal highs up here on ES as well. So to me, that's where my eyes are in terms of the draw and liquidity. You know, you could be looking low-hanging fruit, scaling in here these short-term highs as well. But we've seen price basically respect all of this bullish order flow. So I wouldn't expect that to change until we've taken out external liquidity. Which we have not done yet, right? We see price respecting every single one of these bullish PD arrays here on the higher time frame. All the way up, right? So yeah, that's my bias for today. It's going to be wanting to see more bullish delivery. Would be nice. Obviously, we can still pay close attention to these data highs and data lows. Market is opening up right now. So let's see what kind of reaction we want to get right here at the open. We're obviously closer to the high, but it would tickle my fancy quite a bit if at this open we just did a Judas swing straight down to data low. And then start looking for bullish reversal would be nice. Doesn't need to do that, but that'd be pretty sick. You know what I'm saying? That'd be pretty sick, boys and girls. So just marking out these data highs and data lows, boys. We'll see where price wants to take us. Nice new day opening gap as well. Pretty decent size here. So I decided to go ahead and mark this out. Almost 30 points. C price holding it. And then at NFP, we wick it. End up closing back above. So to me, all signs point bullish. Regular trading hours, opening range gap. Oh, fucking hated. But man, do I sound snot-nosed or what? I feel like I sound worse than I thought I did. Yeah. Josh, good to see you, my man. It's been a minute. How you been? Hopefully we'll be back to perfect health next week, boys and girls. Ugh. Yeah, I haven't been sick in forever. But not a reason to not stream, boys and girls. So you guys are gonna have to suffer through it with me. You don't think we'll see a switch when it hits liquidity demand zone on 4 hour from January 25th? You don't think that we will see a switch when it hits the demand zone on the 4 hour from January 25th? January 25th. No, I don't personally. I think price will run this low resistance liquidity out. We got too many stacked relative equal highs up here. So I think this gets ran out. You could see price maybe pause for a moment, but yeah, no, I wouldn't be banking on that. It'd be different if because I used to trade supply and demand, but if this candle here was like this and actually rated this high, and let's say we had an SMT as well, then I would think that's more possible. And then I'd view this as a valid higher time frame bearish order block. So otherwise, yeah, no, this is low resistance as far as I'm concerned. Ripping straight up here. 5 minutes into the open, roughly. Right above data highs, boys and girls. And we'll see how this shakes out. I mean, we could see a lot of stuff happen here in the early part of AM session. I know that the general rule of thumb is NFP two-stage delivery, right? Data high, data low. we raid one side of the range, and then a lot of times can see a two-stage delivery reversal back to the other side of the range. And then price continues on whatever path it was on previous. So I'm not closed off to that. If that makes sense. I sound disgusting, really? You guys should have you're lucky I wasn't streaming yesterday. Holy I feel like I sounded way worse yesterday. maybe once my voice gets warmed up, I'll sound better. Very close to this first buy side here. 966. ES a lot weaker. We took data high out on ES. Not as much displacement above the data high as of yet. YM going down. Love that. Yeah, the only problem with like, let's see, 930s right here. You know, these are the types of entries I feel like a lot of people look at and they're just like, man, I should have caught this. I'm missing out right now. Because they just see this. And it's like, I genuinely just don't know how you catch this trade. Unless you're just like randomly clicking buy or sell at the open. You know what I'm saying, boys? Try to be in those 20s. Down in here. January was good. Start of the year. 14.5K in payouts, Josh. All right. Drinks on you this weekend, pal. You're bringing the keg to the Super Bowl party. Oh, you tried to buy in the 920s? So this little wick down didn't grab you? Big fair value gap in here. Retested the data high. This would be first presentation as well, right? Yeah. So first presentation tap, data high retest, 966, buy side delivered. And let's see what price wants to do from here, boys. I would not be surprised at all. Definitely am not closed off to this potential data low, right? And then we start reversing back higher. This is all internal. Oh, shit. Yummy. Yeah, we could see prices grind higher as well. Anything is possible, boys. But anyway, yeah, how's your week been, boys and girls? Slow or not? I feel like I haven't traded like all that much. Obviously, I only streamed 2 other days this week. Yeah, I feel like overall there's just a lot of uncertainty. Unless you're Josh in the chat, he's getting 14.5K in payouts. Apparently, this guy's got he's got what everybody else needs. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Wriggles? Well, hey, at least Kanye West is having some fun on Twitter today. Good week so far. Let me check the what do you guys vote here? 69 votes. That's what 70. Somebody just ruined it. Nope, 69. 69 votes. We got 63% of the chat feeling bullish. Usually whenever the chat is very lopsided, I don't want to say the the poll is more wrong than not, but if my memory serves me right, I think it's been whenever we're lopsided, we always seem to do the opposite. The old chat tilt indicator. We'll close that off before people start changing their vote and cheating. Yeah, I'll see if you want to put in a little SMT here with ES looking like it's going to take this high one more time. NQ may not. So we could have an SMT form here. And then we see, even internally, we see a lot of low resistance liquidity that we could go get. Even without getting to the data low. Fuck. When was the last time I won a trade? Technically yesterday. Why can I use top step 20% off? Do you have promo code because the link redirects me to the website? Yeah, Asfon, it is only for eligible customers. So if it's your first combine with Top Step, you're eligible for the discount. Otherwise, it won't automatically apply the discount at checkout. Otherwise, it just does it for you through the link. There's no code or anything. All right, guys, SMT at this high with ES after taking buy side. Macro is still a few minutes out, but see if we displace. If we get a 1 minute change in the state of delivery, you guys think it's worth the entry? Or is it too risky yet? What's chat think? All right, we got to close below here. Let's see. Yeah, I know there's news at 10. Yep. And macro in like 5 minutes. Listen, NFP can be unforgiving, though. Sometimes you have to take the riskiest, cheapest trade entry. Otherwise, you might get left behind. This is what the trade would have looked like, boys. Had I entered off this change in the state. I'm viewing this as change in the state. I understand this low is not what led to a new high, but we created the manipulation with the SMT. So we put in a new high with ES. That's why I would look at this as a change in the state. But yeah, I won't lie. It's not like super convincing. So we'll tape read it. I'm not in this. Jesus. It's always full pour Friday, Teehee. You know this. What's understood doesn't need to be explained. Yeah. That's not looking super hot. If we perform a swing low here, it's probably going to go higher. Another SMT, probably at this low. Oh no, at the high. It knows how to tempt you. I think I'm gonna hop in over here on these top step X. Accounts. I'm gonna hop in there. Stop at the high. Not gonna hop in here. I'll wait a little bit longer. I'm totally open to slapping some more irresponsible trades on these top step X accounts, boys. Let's change that. Yeah. Ass fan, I already answered you, ma'am. The link, if you're eligible, the link will work for you automatically. There's no promo code or anything like that. Yeah, ass fan. If it's your first time using Top Step, it'll automatically apply at checkout. But yeah, reasons for thinking that this has a chance of playing out was the SMT with ES here after sweeping buy side and data high. And then we got this 1 minute close below. So I'm looking at this as the 1 minute change in the state. Just giving it an attempt here, giving it a stab, boys. Got a 20 point or so stop. More like 25 with my fill on Top Step X. Morning, Meta. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, macro's just now starting, so let's see what happens. One way or the other, we should pick up some volume. And then we got news in like 8 minutes. I don't like that it's just slow playing right here. Obviously, if you're hoping the idea and the PD array is going to work out, you want to see speed. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just hop out. I'm going to wait. A couple times this week, I've seen price just act slow. And I wanted to close, but I didn't just because I was being stubborn, and then I took a stop loss unnecessarily. Sometimes you got to remind yourself you're in control of this bitch. Now that I exited, we'll probably just see a Drake candle down. Market maker this bitch. Yeah, no trade copier on TradingView. Just on Tradeovate or Top Step X. You can copy trade on Rhythmic accounts as well. I've never used Rhythmic. I have a Mac, so I don't even think I could. Yeah, you'd have to do it directly on Tradeovate if you're using Tradeovate accounts. But yeah, honestly, I would say if you're gonna copy trade, like if copy trading is one of your main pros for picking what account you're gonna go with, I would recommend Top Step X personally. I think it's more seamless and easy for copy trading. Tradeovate's a little bit more clunky. Of course. I exited like right here on those combines. What do you think about copy trading for someone that can afford to just waste fundeds? Getting a nice pay raise in my job and can afford quite a few more combines a month. What do I think about it? Yeah, I think if anybody has the means to do so, you can be more aggressive with combines, with fundeds, because, you know, it's not going to, like, you got to think there's obviously people that don't have that luxury. So like them paying for a combine, paying the activation, and then getting into a funded, like there's some people that if they don't get a payout, you know what I mean? It'll set them back a little bit and they have to wait to try to get funded again. But yeah, if you have the means of, you know, if you have the means to do it, then yeah, you can be more aggressive. Obviously still within reason. You wanna be still cognizant and mindful. I still think that being aggressive, just because you can do it, you still have to be careful of not creating a bad habit. Because you got to think you still want to be like, if tomorrow prop firms went away and you had to move into only live, like own personal capital, it would be a hard transition if you were in the mode of like, you know, being a dumbass all the time. But yeah, I do agree with Josh. It is very hard and slow to get paid being really conservative. That's for sure. So I do agree with that. Isn't that some, boys? Literally fucking close this as we're just slowing up here, and then it dumps. That's perfect. Classic. Yeah, I literally said it's gonna give me a Drake candle now. Oh god. Yeah, I mean, this was just looking so choppy and slow. I think we'd all agree. It's just kind of unfortunate that it's just kind of unfortunate on the next 1 minute candle. Thanks a lot, NASDAQ. And now, if we could reach data low, this would still be worth getting in on. It is kind of an if, though. I think we're all kind of in agreement that we felt way more bullish on the higher time frames. But I don't hate the idea of trying to rejoin the short if we can get in prior to these like internal lows being swept. To me, once this is taken out, I think I missed the move. Even if it does go from here to here. I would just look for a bullish reversal after. News in a minute. Not even. Let's see if news just runs this straight down. Had I still been holding this, since we're far enough in profit, that this would be an easy break even for me with news coming out. Straight to fucking data low. Oh, God. Two-stage delivery, just like that.
Nice.
Nice. Nice. Yep. Guess I should have held it. Easy to say in hindsight. All right. I guess I'm bullish from here. We got SMT with that data low as well. We'll see if there's follow through to the downside or if we can put in some structure and maybe reverse now. Yeah. But yeah, this SMT did its job, took us down to the data low. Darn it. Was anybody in that same short and just held it? If you did, congratulations. I mean, if you were gonna market close at these lows, you probably hit data low just by accident. That was so fast. That's crazy. So from that 1 minute change in the state to data low, 152 points. Yeah, your day's done. Get off the charts. Get off them charts. Holy smokes. Yeah, that's a little disappointing. You got out, Debbie? Yeah, same here. You got to get better, Tyler? Yeah. I think I'm always open to getting better. You just got to keep living, man. Callie, you didn't close? Congrats. Ironside, done for the day. Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. Can you complain to Top Step for slippage? Probably not. I mean, you can. I don't know if it'll help. And if you're asking me to complain, I'm not going to do that. Slippage is just, especially if you were like doing any executions on this candle here. I mean, that's when slippage, this is the type of shit, this is how slippage happens. Like, this is textbook how slippage happens, how fast that was. There's nothing, even on a live account, that's going to happen. Like, that's just part of trading. So no, I wouldn't, but you can try. I mean, shit. If you don't ask, the answer is always no, right? Sheesh. Oh. My goodness, boys. Look at this. Man, what a move. What a move. Absolute beauty. Told you, dude. Fat NF. These moves, when they happen, they're just like, they're unforgiving. There's no pullback. It's like either you're in it or you're not. And that's just how she goes, dude. That's the thing. Wait, I had a baby trade to the up. And it blew my top. It blew my stop, my bad. And closed me way under. Yeah. Dude, yeah, that is literally, if you were long and your stop was like up here, we all saw that candle. Yeah, I mean, your TP, if somebody had a TP here, their TP could have even been slipped all the way down to Kingdom Come. So it's not, slippage sometimes can work in your favor, but obviously most people have their stops as well at lows and highs, and you know, when those get blown out, they get blown out fast sometimes, especially around a news driver. Yeah, dude. You can try it. You can try, but I don't know if I'd have very high expectations, because that slippage that you experienced, you would have experienced that anywhere. more than likely. Feeling the FOMO about to rage. That's what you got to do, Benny. Whatever that feeling of rage and FOMO that you're feeling, I want you to feed into that. We all have two wolves inside us. And you know what? Everyone's going to tell you to feed the good one. Why? I say feed the bad one. See what happens. It's only NFP Friday once a month. I ain't gonna tell on you. You feel me? Yeah, I'm tired of all this responsible trading advice on the internet. Where's the irresponsible trading advice? I gotta stand out somehow. Pelin G, yeah, I was in this short. I was in this short over on Top Step X. I was just going to be taking it down to these internal lows here because this is 72 points. And because we were just chopping around in here and ES was just continuing to drive higher, I'm like, I wanted to see more speed than that if it was going to go. So then I closed on this candle. For, obviously not a little small loss, but yeah, literally then within 5 minutes. Yep, deep in profit. But now I'm bullish, so this is more in alignment with what I was wanting to see anyway, so. The thing is now we'll probably have to just be patient, right? Because you get big moves like this, it can happen, but more often than not, we're probably going to be entering more of an accumulation, more than likely. So we'll have to pick our ideas wisely here. There is still some more sell side here, close proximity. If we want to go take it out, we might not. ES took out its data low as well. And this could very easily still be another failure swing lower for later, because that's what market's been doing on the higher time frames anyway, until this market maker buy model completes. But yeah, dude, for those of you guys that stayed in that trade, I mean, it wasn't it wasn't like we hit stop loss or anything. So it's either you closed it early because you weren't a fan of this chopping around that it was doing, which is what I did. You could say maybe I didn't accept the risk. That's what kept me from the spoils. But yeah, right inside the macro. Dead nuts. Dead schnuts. Yeah, below these lows is a 4-hour fair value gap as well. Every 4-hour fair value gap we've printed here on this leg up, we have traded back into, and this one not yet. So we'll stay patient here. But yeah, congrats to you guys if you guys caught this. Sheesh. That is a beauty. Well, now we wait. Yeah, I would be done. I would be done, Callie. If I stayed in this trade and you know, caught whatever on this, there's a good chance the stream would already be over. Maybe not. Maybe I'd be hanging out, chit-chatting with you boys and girls. I do think there could be a reversal to the upside to be had. And we got the news volatility to do it today. But still want to be more cautious at this point. All right, trading below these relative equal lows down here into a 4-hour fair value gap here shortly. What's dollar doing today? It was working towards data low. Got caught in the range though. I'm curious. Let me know who caught that. We'll see how many. A couple people were long as well. Yeah, that was the other thing too. A few of you guys up here were saying that you're long and looking for long still. All right, we tapped the 4-hour. We tapped the 4-hour, boys and girls. We could dig into it though. A lot more than we have. Well, we could end up seeing, I don't know if we'll get a reversal this morning. If we do, that'd be great. But next 4-hour candle opens up at 2. We'll obviously see where we're at when we get there. But I would want to see, a change in the state of delivery now. Probably in like a 5-minute chart. Before looking to enter any longs. Yep, got our TGF, that's for sure. But yeah, Tuesday's delivery yet again. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse every time I talk about it on these days, but not 100%. Nothing's 100%, but it's pretty damn close. It happens a lot. NFP, CPI, FOMC. It's very, very, very common. So if anybody's taking notes for their journaling purposes, I guess there's another one for you. And boy, did we inverse it. Yeah, exactly, Dalton. Yeah, if you're that first presentation, if that's what you're talking about right here. News candle right here. That's funny. But yeah. Well, so we got what? 22% of the chat says they got the short to data low. Most obviously did not. Yeah, I mean it wasn't the easiest. You know, it wasn't like a bearish PD array entry like absolutely was screaming, jumping off the charts at us per se. Is it possible to get the playlist you put on stream? Yep. I just have a bunch of stream beats by Heller. He's got a bunch of like copyright free music. So I just have like some of those songs playing. Stream beats by Harris Heller. Because YouTube wants to copyright every little thing, and if you have anything copyrighted on your stream, the whole stream gets a copyright. Even if you only have it for like one song or like part of a song. But yeah, nice little chill lo-fi ambiance in the background. While we try to trade like the banks, boys. No, I'm not beating myself up too bad for it. It is what it is. I definitely in the moment of me cutting that trade, I'm like, yeah, I think it's the right decision. Obviously in hindsight it's easy to be like fucking A. But no, I'm not really too upset about it. The only upsetting thing is now you just have to really focus and practice patience to wait for another really good setup that may or may not come today, right? So we'll see. That's like the only disappointing part, just because we're naturally impatient creatures, and I'm definitely no exemption to that. The only thing that maybe I would self-criticize myself for is sometimes in situations exactly like that, I'm not super consistent, meaning like sometimes I'll close it, sometimes I'll leave it. I'll just leave it. So I'm using discretion. And it seems like whenever I cherry pick anything in trading, like if I cherry pick, I do something one time, but I don't do it every time. I'm sure it's not true, but it feels true that like you always cherry pick incorrectly. You guys probably know what I'm talking about, where sometimes you do something, sometimes you don't. And in your mind, you're like, every time I cherry pick and do it this way, it's always the opposite than the next time or the next time. So like, I think, like, even thinking back to like last year, one of the things that I gave myself criticism for when I reflected on last year's trading was just that I found that the more I managed trades as well, it limited my upside. So I haven't like made the decision to like go full blown into doing it like this yet, but I might tweak my trading plan and experiment with no partialing at all, almost never moving stop to break even until we're like so close to the TP it would make no sense to take a loss, and truly just setting trades and don't fucking fuck with the stop loss or TP, and just let whatever happens happen. I feel like I limited my upside a lot last year by just partialing, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with partialing. Partialing's good. Like, it's gonna help a lot of people secure profits, scratch the itch, you know. Notice I didn't say keep you from being profitable. I just said limit the upside. A lot of us, if you go put in your model into like FX replay as well, you know, I'm not saying you want to go for like the max ideal RR, right? Because that's unrealistic. You're not going to just get the best entry and exit all the time. But if any of you went to FX replay and you just like tested your model throughout like a long period of time, you'll see that your average RR is much different than like anywhere close to your ideal RR. And I think a lot of that stems from partialing, and just over management of any one position. You know, and you could cherry pick both sides of that. There's gonna be days where managing your position aggressively is the right decision, and there's gonna be days where it's not. You know, today's one of those examples where it wasn't. Close the trade while it's chopping and then it drops. But I wouldn't be saying that obviously if I close the trade and then it hit stop loss anyway. So it's gonna be easy to cherry pick based on whatever day you're talking about, but it's just some food for thought, boys. Always trying to tweak and get better where we can. If you ain't growing, you're dying at the end of the day, right? Just because you get funded, get to payouts on a funded account, or whatever your achievements you've achieved in your trading journey, that don't mean there isn't another level you can tap into and get better. And you know what they say about bad days, boys? Either you just got done with one, you're in one, or another one's right around the corner. So you can't live in a state of euphoria either and think that you've cracked the code, because the market will humble you as soon as you think that. Coming up on 10:30 here in the next 5 minutes. I'd like to see a 5-minute change in the state of delivery. Just because we're tapping into a 4-hour bullish PD array. So I'd like to get our next confirmation here on a 5-minute. Even if you're looking for a 1-minute change in the state, they're pretty much the same in this regard. This is the last up close candle before a new low that tapped into the PD array. So either way, I think it's actually the same in this for the most part. Yeah. The 5 and the 1 minute are the exact same anyway. Yeah, and then could look to if we do get a setup to go long, we can obviously take it right back up to these relative equal highs. Do you guys feel what I'm saying? When I go on tangents and then nobody says anything in the chat, I just picture everybody in the chat looking at me like this.
Shut the fuck up.
When you live stream and you talk about anything that's not the actual price and what it's doing, you'll always get some comments. Bro, just shut up and focus on the charts. Oh god. New 30-minute candle here in a few minutes. Well, yeah, this is the only downside about missing a move like this. Is you have no choice but to just sit here and wait now. Well, let's see if Kanye West said anything else on Twitter. 10:30 here, boys. 30 seconds. Oh yeah, he's still going. Still sell side wrestling below, yeah. What do you do for a living? Well, I did sales and network marketing for about 6-7 years. And I was trading the last few years of that. Well, no, I guess even before that. I dabbled in it prior. I've shared my story with like trading and when I got started and when I started taking it serious, etc., etc. And yeah, I stopped doing that. Now, I guess what I do for a living, I mean, I have multiple streams of income, I guess, but, you know, trading, streaming, fortunate enough to be a partner with Top Step, which I've always disclosed to you guys, but yeah, I mean, I guess building this YouTube brand and the internet brand, internet marketing is probably what I make the most money from. No longer am in sales, no longer in network marketing. It was fun while it lasted, met some good people, made some good money for a while. Now, as far as what the future holds, continuing to trade, build the brand on I guess YouTube and elsewhere. And then I've been studying up a lot in my free time about real estate because I don't know all that much about real estate. It's not as much as I should. But that's probably my next big endeavor outside of what I'm doing now. You missed a huge short? Man, you got to rewind the stream. You got to go watch what happened. I'm gonna make you rewind, Allie. But yes, beautiful 2-stage delivery happened. Beautiful 2-stage delivery happened. How about you guys? I've asked this in the chat before. What do you guys do for a living? I know we got people from all over the place. We got people Europe, Canada, United States. Based on some of the names, I think we got people in like India. Still in high school? Trade? YK SETI, you just trade? You don't do anything else? I think even if people make, you know, enough money to live comfortably full time just from trading, I mean, it ain't like trading is like super duper time consuming. So there's nothing else you're doing outside of just trading? Like trading, you only need like 1 or 2 hours a day, if that. Like that's a lot of free time. You could be building something else as well. Or no? You're 19 as well. Well, you got a lot of time on your side. That's good. Tyler Jacobs, he's a professional Fortnite player, and he's also a professional at hiding his coworkers from ICE. Woo! Come on, baby. I'll be here all week. Oh, gosh. You're still in high school, though, DeVow. That's crazy. Are you at least 18? Don't you got to be 18 to trade? Unless you're like in TJR's Discord. Then he actually prefers you're not 18. Or above. Agronomist in the UK. PEJW sells people. Sounds like Andrew Tate. Service advisor. I don't see Anthony in here. I know Anthony was starting his engineering job. I was going to ask him if he found time to trade in the mornings yet. But must not if he's not here. No, I'm not in a trade. I'm waiting for a possible trade. I'm tired of every time a move happens with no model. All the scrubs are like, how did you not catch that? It was so obvious. Yeah. Yeah. That'll happen. Especially for the ICT community. It happens a lot. It's such a I don't know, dude. it's such a, at times it is so easy to, it's kind of like the NFL. You know how like the NFL has a fan base that is just like nasty and like nobody likes, which is the Philadelphia Eagles. The ICT community at large, not everybody, but most, they act like Philadelphia Eagles fans of the trading space. They're just not pleasant. A lot of just big egos, arrogance. It's kind of it's disappointing as somebody that believes in the concepts, uses the concepts. I don't plan on not using the concepts anytime here soon, right? So, but if anybody that trades asks, what kind of trader are you? What's your strategy? And I say, ICT trader, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The stereotype that comes with. And it is a stereotype that is well earned, to be honest. Like, you just got a lot of people acting like less than great humans all the time. It is what it is. But that's the facts. All right, let's see if we get a close here on the 5 minute above these highs. We're tapping into this imbalance, obviously, as well. "21 working at a supermarket, quit uni after 2 years, trying to be profitable." I also quit uni after 2 years, Jeff. Uni. I'm going to start calling it uni. Immigrating to NZ. Oh, New Zealand in April? Time zone difference to New York would be kind of crazy. Yeah, what is it? Like PM session would be like early morning for you, right? So like AM session would be like middle of the night. I thought not trade and not make any trade plan today. Be here watching you, but I got gift for my B-day. Took short. Daw, Maida. Happy birthday. Do I got anything for you? I need to get some new memes on here. I'm slacking, boys. Yeah, happy birthday, Maida. Glad you caught the short. No, I do not live close to the Canadian border. I have no idea how many hours away I am, but not super close, no. Tyler's a puppet 6, took a loss, and it's my fault. Well, that means every time you take a win, it's my fault too. And I've seen you in this chat a lot, saying how you've taken a lot of wins. Yeah, guess those are all my fault. You're welcome. Yeah. I'm just here to say you're welcome. Macro in 10 minutes, boys. We've stayed patient. We've stayed diligent. The ones that caught the short got the short, and their day is done. The rest of us, we're looking in the shadows, waiting for our prey to stray just slightly away from the pack, and we're gonna pounce. Oh boy, are we gonna pounce. Bless you. Thanks. Gosh. Why I'm looking for longs because we traded down, took out a lot of sell side liquidity, tapped into a 4-hour PD array, this 4-hour bullish for value gap. So if we, now I'm just waiting for a 5-minute bullish change in the state. For there, I'm going to be really trying to look for a long entry. But that's why. And overall bullish, I guess. Overall bullish. We did take out this short-term high here this morning. But I think there's still room to the upside with all of this low resistance liquidity run right here. You can see this entire move up as well. We've just traded down 4-hour imbalance, push higher, 4-hour imbalance, push higher, 4-hour imbalance, push higher, 4-hour imbalance. Could push higher today. Could see price continue playing out this buy model next week. Yeah, I'm not saying we can't. I'm not saying we cannot go lower today. But at this point, I've already missed this short, right? This is the 2-stage delivery that you could have been looking for NFP Friday. But missed this. So now, I mean, I'm just not really super, I don't know. I'm not as interested as going short. I could, right? Like, we see price tapping into this imbalance up here on the 5 and the 15. You know, and I would say if we see price heavily displace, you could make that argument. But in the short term, I was waiting to see if we could get back above here, close, change the state, and then I'd be open to longs. I'm not saying I can't be open to more shorts. I definitely can. But because of this move down, this could be sell side objective met, is all I'm saying. I'd have to wait for, just waiting for more structure, more confirmation to see if there's any more room to the downside, if that makes sense. That we could go get, yeah. The relative equal lows you're speaking of, I'm assuming are like right here. We took that low, this low here inside the 4-hour. Obviously, this is a big 4-hour imbalance. Every 4-hour imbalance on this leg up, we've basically filled almost completely, right? So we filled this gap full, 100%. We filled this gap. We filled this gap. So this would be a price would need to be in a hurry to go higher for us to just barely tap into it and then go. But it could happen. But yeah, to your point, if it make you feel better, as of right now, this is what price is doing. Wicking highs. And if we see price displace lower, that could be the move. No, I don't feel bad at all that you lost. I would actually feel better if you lost again. Believe price will go higher. Don't have the balls to hold the move. Happy with 1RR. Expecting one more move lower. Then we see price go higher in the PM. Yep, very possible. Yeah, if we go lower, what I would be looking to anticipate would be possibly a reversal back up inside the next 4-hour candle, right? So like next 4-hour candle opens about 2 p.m. and possibly just depending on where this candle is at. But this is all hypothetical. But you could see if price does push lower, right? And then we open up the next 4-hour candle, raid that low, and then we reverse back up into this range. At that point, it's so late in the day, I would not be expecting big runs or anything like that. But that would be probably what that reversal would be framed off of. And what also is true, we might not want to admit it because we're eager to take a trade if you miss this short. And a lot of people are sitting with a lot of FOMO at the moment. The other thing that could be true is NFP Friday, the objective could very well have been met. And we could see sideways price action the rest of the day. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I mean today was all right. Today was all right. Yeah, I it'd have been nicer if like well, if maybe a little bit better entry would have jumped off the screen here, but you know, there was one that did jump off. It just wasn't like, it was just this 1 minute change in the state with SMT. Then we just took so long once we changed the state here. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, it's like, I'm like, bro, this is, and at the same time, ES is just dragging price higher. I'm like, you know, macro was just starting, like, not even until like right here. So, yeah, it could have been cleaner, but there was still opportunity, right? Because this change of the state happened, what, at 9:44? And then we don't start really pushing lower until, yeah, 5 minutes to the end of the hour. With red folder news looming. So, you know, give yourself some grace. This wasn't like the most obvious entry setup, if you will. We got macro beginning here, 30 seconds. Do you think getting exposed to trading at an early age gives you more room to work with? No pressure, because I knew about it at 18 and thought I had room and time. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody in here that has been trading for a bit all wishes they started sooner. Sooner the better. Because it's all experience. I mean, experiences aren't created equal. It just kind of depends on your focus, your diligence. Like, there's a lot of people that start trading and their first, like, you know, they might just dabble for 3 to 4 to 5 years, and they're not really, you know, hyper focused on one style of trading. They're doing a lot of jumping around. The thing is it takes 10,000 hours to master anything, right? I really believe that. 10,000 hours of mastery, and every time you jump to a new strategy, you're resetting that. You know what I mean? Like, you're resetting those 10,000 hours, because now you got to reaccumulate those hours on a new strategy. You know, so if you're trading for 2 to 3 years, 4 years, and then you, like, you know what I mean, you jump to another strategy, well, you're kind of resetting that clock. It's kind of the way that I look at it. So, you know, if you can pick one style and just stick to it, I can tell you, and it doesn't have to be ICT, it could be whatever the hell makes the most sense to you. What I can tell you though is I wasted a lot of time early on by jumping around, by trying a bunch of different styles of trading, and I think that, listen, if that's what you need to really, like, there's a lot of people out there that they'll think they're a scalper, or they'll think they're a swing trader or whatever, but every time they come across hard times in their trading, they're gonna immediately go to think that, well, shit, maybe I actually should be a swing trader, or shit, maybe I should actually be a scalper, and then they switch up their style, and that's doing the same thing. I would say if you're gonna if you're going to need to test the waters like that to figure out what kind of trader you want to be, then I would say just be very cautious with how much time. You know you better than anyone, and we all know if a certain style is resonating with us or not, right? So once you really lock in and just pick one thing, you assume the risk. You say, I know there's going to be good days. I know there's going to be bad days. There's going to be days I struggle. There's going to be days I just kick ass, right? And then tweak. You can make small tweaks as you refine and get better in your journal and you learn. But you're never going to be doing big seismic changes. But yeah, it is. It takes a long time to master. Like, you can be proficient at a skill without 10,000 hours of mastery, but to be a true Jedi warrior on these charts, oh boy, it's gonna take some time. And some people aren't willing to sacrifice that time, boys. Not you though. Fucking hear me? Not you. Oh my goodness. Look at that, boys. Jeez. That's that's some manipulation. There we go. Come on. Yeah, just like this trade. If you're trying to, if somebody in the chat was sitting here waiting for shorts, like if anybody was trying to like short like this fair value gap got stopped out, you know, if they're trying to maybe short this inversion, I don't know. You got stopped out again here because we just literally poke above this high, back into that gap one more time. Tell me if you're not buying, if you're not selling above this high, you can't get in this. This is gone without you. This is it. I mean, dude. Yeah, did Donald Trump tweet something? Let's check. I forget. These are Trump markets now. Does anybody remember trading at all during the first Trump administration? I mean, Trump markets were a different beast sometimes. You would just be sitting here looking at charts. You're like, what the hell just happened? All of a sudden, you're like, oh, Trump tweeted. Sick. Yeah, we got no more news, so. Did he tweet? I got his tweet notifications on, so I don't, maybe that's not it. Something happened. That was not, that didn't just happen by accident. Does anybody got the scoop? Let me know in the chat if anybody's got the scoop on that. I'm not seeing nothing on my end over here. Oh. Hang on. I hate how every time, like when you open Twitter, there'll be something like right at the top and then it refreshes. I gotta. Yeah, maybe I need to get on Truth Social because I think he posts on Truth Social first and then like retweets it. Yeah, I guess I don't really see much of anything too important. I see 25 minutes ago he said something about an executive order to end a push for paper straws. Back to plastic. Hell yeah. Let's be honest, boys. We might care for the turtles a little bit, but like those paper straws suck. Can we at least agree on that? Yeah, you guys let me know if there's any headlines coming out that you're seeing that you think might have caused that spike down. Definitely seemed too big and too fast for it to be a coincidence. Gosh. I hope I'm full health by next week, boys. I appreciate just dealing with my stuffy nose. Even you, Tyler's a puppet 6. Even you. What has Kanye tweeted? Yeah, you might have to get an X account and go look for yourself. I don't wanna be the messenger, repeat what he said, and then all of a sudden I'm getting banned on YouTube. Cause it definitely seems like when anybody speaks about the things he's saying, there is some level of censorship there. If anybody's got their tinfoil hat on and goes down the conspiracy theory rabbit holes ever at all, it's interesting. Trump tells lawmakers he plans to issue reciprocal tariffs as early as today. Someone said check Forex Factory. I did. Is there something new that got added? Oh, okay. Right here. Trump tells lawmakers he plans to issue. Yeah, no shit. 3 minutes ago. Yeah, that had to have been it. Of course, the candle prints before the headline. That's obviously normal, but that had to have been it. Well, all right. We took out more sell side, tapped a little deeper into that 4 hour. Still waiting for possible longs. See what we get. Still would like to see a 5 minute. Obviously a 5 minute change in the state would be aggressive from here to, I mean, setting up your position would be a little difficult with this. Because, like, where do you put your stop loss? I guess maybe just below here. But even that's pretty... No, in reality, you probably want to... Once we change state, maybe jump down to a 1 minute and try to find something here. If we get that. We might not. Open to anything attached to nothing at this point in the market, boys. Well, listen, Tyler's a puppet 6. That's because... we actually have a president that's awake now. You got to remember, we had Joe Biden sleeping in and then going to bed at like 4 p.m. So that guy was asleep or on vacation. What was the statistic? He was on vacation 47% of his entire presidency the last 4 years. Think about that. Almost 2 full years of vacation. Crazy. Like, who's running? Obviously, he wasn't running the country. I think we all can agree with that. It was probably Kamala Harris running the country. Kamala. Kamala. Ah, shoot, Pluto. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, we've been there. I'm just the only disappointing thing for me today was the fact that I was literally in the short right up here at the high, and just because it was taking so long, I closed out of it. Didn't let the trade play out. So that's the only knock I can give myself today. Obviously he was looking at the right idea. Had the right idea, was open to that 2-stage delivery, which I think you gotta be on these NFP days. Yeah, I guess markets just didn't make it easy, and it was enough to get me to want to get out of the trade and wait. And therefore, I got left behind. So. What's up, Money Glitch? Money Glitch, how do we do today? Money Glitch. What is it, 10? Yeah. Well, shoot. 11 o'clock. The only issue is sometimes like I end the stream and then all of a sudden like a great trade happens like 10 minutes later. But it's like, man, I can't stay here all day. We do have CPI next week, boys. CPI and PPI. No news Monday. We got Powell Tuesday, day before CPI. I might still stream. But I might not. It just feels like such a, for me at least, it feels like it's been a pretty slow, trading-wise, it's been a slow start for me to the year. It hasn't been, it's been good at times, it's been bad at times, but it hasn't been like aggressively terrible, it hasn't been great. It's just, I would just say it's been slow for me. What's up, Anthony? Good to see you, man. I was talking about you earlier. But, yeah, Anthony, let's just say I was in shorts up here. And then we were just chopping. After about like 10 minutes of chop, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get out of the trade and wait a little bit. Because the macro was kind of just getting started. We had news in like 5 minutes. And basically, once I got out a couple minutes later, we just started dumping. And then I ended up missing the whole move down. So that's how the trading went for me today. Basically, just missed out on this move, but well, I appreciate it, Pluto. Yeah, it felt like the right decision at the time. Bum, 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 ba-dum. But yeah, it was pretty unforgiving. Once it went, obviously the news candle was right here at 10 a.m. So, like, if you weren't already in a position where you could like go break even from the original trade, some people still held on to it. So some people in the chat caught it. I mean, we were talking about the idea for this entire length of time. But yeah, it was unforgiving, and the NFP is that's very common for NFP. Like, once it goes, it just goes. It's either you're in it or you're not. So, yeah, unforgiving, just straight down. And then this was a Trump headline. Yeah. Well, I can tell you what I'll be looking for. Maybe a little later today. I'll take a peek here. Obviously, this 4-hour candle doesn't close until, 2 p.m. But I'll have my eye on things here. I'm obviously just waiting for possible bullish setups at this point. If I take anything, it'll likely be because we get a 5-minute change in the state of delivery, and then look for possible entry on like a 1 minute with a displacement to the upside, if anything, boys. But yeah, like if price just kind of keeps selling off here and staying heavy or just going sideways, then I'll be done for the rest of the day looking for anything. But this macro's ending. We're getting late in the AM session. We're going to be in lunch here in like an hour or so. I'm not too sure we're going to get anything here in the next 20-30 minutes that constitutes waiting. So, yeah, exactly, Anthony. Yep. It felt like the right decision in the moment. It's always easy in hindsight to beat yourself up, but either way, nice little 2-stage delivery for NFP Friday. So for anybody's journaling sakes, add that to the repertoire. A lot of people always ask about data highs and data lows and like what I mean when I say two-stage delivery. So here's just something to add to your references. Oh, hang on. Ah. Right as I was about to maybe call it a day, we kind of start making a sharp move back higher here. We didn't form any SMT though at the low. That would have been nice. Yeah, the 5-minute change in the state is still all the way up here because that's what put in the new low. No, Anthony, it all comes in seasons. You know there's been plenty of seasons where you made more money trading than sports gambling too. That's funny though. I mean, that's how it goes. Speaking of, are we cooking up any parlays for the Super Bowl, boys? If so, what are we betting on? We got to make it interesting, right? We got to put something on the line. Doesn't got to be a lot, but like, you know, I don't know, $100, couple $100. Have some fun. Yeah, we got Kansas City or we got Philadelphia. Who are you guys taking? I feel like everybody's rooting for the Eagles because they don't want the Chiefs to keep winning. Ugh. I wonder where who's got more money on who in Vegas. Where do I see that? Who has? Is there a way I can see like how much money is on the sports book for either team? Sorry if I'm a newbie. The public, a headline says here, the public is on the Chiefs. See, sometimes the way that I look at it, kind of like with a trading perspective, it's like a tilt indicator. Like if all the money is on one team, like I believe that, you know, if you believe that the NFL is rigged to any capacity, or if it's maybe not rigged, but like, let's say maybe influenced to go a certain way via calls or whatever it might be. Like, I'm just assuming that the influence is always going to favor making the most people lose money. So if more money is on a certain team, if it's going to be rigged in any capacity, it's going to be to make the most people lose, right? Just like these markets, max pain. What creates the most pain? Anyone with Philly? Eagles. You're in Dallas, Mason? Are you a Cowboys fan? You must be. Eagles is 58% placed on money line. Anthony, where do you see that? I wonder if that changes between now and Sunday. Obviously, yeah. I mean, a lot of people probably haven't bet yet. I imagine it could change a little. Bet MGM. So I can just go to Bet MGM website? Or what? See, in Wisconsin, it's actually illegal to online sports bet. So whenever I sports bet, I literally just go to I go to Bovada and I have to deposit Bitcoin. In order to bet. Yeah, it's illegal. It's illegal here in the US. Or fuck, it's illegal here in Wisconsin, sorry. Boring. Huh. But yeah, we'll see, boys. I don't know who I'm gonna bet on. I know I'm definitely gonna bet, just because like I don't bet very often. I'm not like a big sports bettor, but I like to do it every once in a while. The Super Bowl seems like a good time to do it, and it won't be a lot of money. It'll be like maybe a couple $100. Oh yeah, you guys traded Luka to the Lakers. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't really follow the NBA all that much, unless it's like big headlines like that. I watch the NBA finals. I don't really watch like throughout the year. That probably makes me a shitty fan. But if the Bucks make the playoffs, I'll watch. If I can. I won't go out of my way to do it. All right, guys. Well, we're getting barcode here on this 5 minute now as price is just accumulating. Trapping people long and short, it looks like. So, yeah, you guys know what I'll be waiting for. You know, potential bullish reversals. Looks like we could get another rate of this low. And then, yeah, I would say my longs probably won't be anything too, like I won't be asking too much of the market. I'd probably just look for like maybe a retracement back to this short-term high here, which will be a pretty sizable move anyway, depending on if it sets up or not. It might not, but at least so you know like what I got my eyes out for. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off the charts for now. I should go to the gym, but I feel bad because I'm sick, so I don't want to be like that one sick guy at the gym and everybody's like looking at me every time I sniffle and they're just like, fucking gross, dude. Get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying? But I probably should go to the gym. Been using the double method to gamble. Question is, do I take 50% and use 200 to double? Throw the 400 to make 800. Oh, God. Yeah, dude, I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm the wrong guy to ask for that. The way that I've done it, this is the way that I do it when I play blackjack. Is like if I'm on a losing streak, like let's say I lose like 2 or 3 hands in a row, I fucking just start increasing my bets. So I actually increase when I'm losing. I don't do that when I'm trading. I've done that when I've done that when I trade. I'm not gonna lie. But no, I don't actively do that. If that makes any sense. But for gambling, for pure gambling purposes, yes. Because it's just numbers, right? Like if you're on a losing streak, you got a winner coming. So I mean, you got to have one hell of a losing streak to just keep. So Anthony, I don't know, man. You probably know better than me. I wish I could tell you. Either way, I'm looking forward next week to hearing how it went. Casino scary. Yeah, but blackjack's fun. If you got a group of people that you can all play together with, and then everybody plays somewhat smart or by the book or whatever. But All right, guys, I'll probably cut it there. Let me yeah, we'll close this poll off. Not sure how you guys did today. It sounds like a lot of people either got left behind. Obviously, if anybody did catch this, that was really the only idea that we had marked out and we're talking about and we're looking at. So, you know, if anything, you caught that, which is fantastic. A lot of people hopped off after that, so I'm assuming those people are the ones that caught it. Yeah, otherwise, once we took out data low, there's not a whole lot of opportunity here unless you're just playing some scalps inside the range. But yeah, there just hasn't been a whole lot of opportunity here after this to do a whole lot with. So maybe there will be something a little bit later today. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll post on X and in the Discord if I take something. But otherwise, yeah, I will plan on seeing you guys next week. We got CPI next week. We got PPI next week. And hopefully we'll see price on the daily start to, you know, maybe get up. We'll see how Sunday opens, right? If Sunday opens again and we get another crazy opening gap lower, I mean, that's what we got 2 weeks in a row now. So we'll see. It'd be nice to get price out of this daily range a little bit. That'll make things a little bit easier in terms of the daily. But yeah, either way, not too shabby. But hopefully you guys did well this week. If you didn't have a great week, hopefully the damage wasn't too bad. And we'll keep trucking, man. Stay the course. Never too high, never too low, boys. Yeah, we could easily go down further. Yeah, and William, I would agree, just because I would like to see manipulation, like clear manipulation at these lows before a reversal. So yeah, I agree. We're kind of stacking it up here. We're kind of stacking up low resistance liquidity right here. So yeah, I agree with you. I'd like to see another push for the lows. You know, maybe tap into here, manipulate up here at the highs internally, and then maybe see price make another push. That's crazy. That's over 100 points. Should we everybody's hopping off now. Should I stay on and see if we can catch a scalp down? See, what we could do, boys, is we could maybe utilize some time frame alignment, because we're tapping into this is a 1 minute PD right here. So if we were to drop down to like a 15-second, and if we were to get like a 15-minute or a 15-second change in the state, that could constitute an entry perhaps on the 15-second chart. But look at this, dude. That's crazy. That's that many points. See you, Meta, if you're hopping off. Peace out. Same soft trades. I don't know, dude. I'm tempted. I might maybe I'll try this. Not yet. I'm not convinced just yet. Not in yet. 15-minute bearish gap here. Or 15 seconds, sorry. All right, I put a limit there. I want to see if we can pull back into this gap in this down close candle here. 15-second change in the state. Oh, shit. See if this wants to pick me up. That'd be pretty cool. Trump talking soon? No way. Where do you see? Where do you guys? I need these alerts like front and center. He's due to speak. Where? I don't see that. Financial juice. See you, William. William, you're gonna leave? Come on, man. Well. All right, I'm hopping in. I'm taking an entry on these Top Step X combines. Wow. Give me a good fill. Pushed away right away. This entry might not get tapped, the sell limit. I hopped in this 30-second fair value gap. See if this wants to come get triggered again, though. Just having some fun on a Friday, boys. Yeah. Financial juice, though, huh? All right, it's tapping my Top Step X entry right here. 30-second gap here. This limit is set right here. 15-second change in the state. Perfect for Trump markets, yeah. Yeah, I might have to, maybe I'll have to bookmark financial juice. Is that not, isn't that included in, shoot. Isn't that not included in Top Step X? There's news, right? I've never used it. Trader Hub? Is it Trader Hub for the news, boys? All right, well, let's take the risk off. I'm going to delete the limit set over here. I think this trade should go now if it's going to go. So I delete the limit. on my TradeOvate account. Risk free. See if we can run her down to the lows, boys. Yeah, I think NQ should be ES to the low if it's gonna go there. Let me go ahead and oh, you bitch. I tried taking off enough to make up my losses. That's right. I took 3 micros off there. See if we can break through here. All right, there we go. No matter what happens, I'm ending the day green. Hee hee. Hee hee. Oh. Trader Hub, yeah. Trader Hub. Isn't this powered by Financial Juice? Or do I got that wrong? Oh man, so do you guys watch it? Does anybody in the chat watch it here on Top Step X? If so, you guys just like toggle over to it every once in a while just to see? All right, we're taking out this low here. I'm watching the ES chart here on my other monitor. No SMT at this low. Keep holding it. I'd say like if ES got to the external low here first, then that'd be a reason to close early. Otherwise, just want to keep seeing this order flow continue to hold here. Partialed a little bit already, so either way, we're not in the day red, so. But we are not really in a macro, obviously, right now. Here's 11:30. Yeah, I really don't think it should come back to the entry. If it does, then it's not ready. Kind of unfortunate. So this this fair value gap that led to the low obviously was immediately inversed. So it is starting to show a sign of reversal here. This fair value gap would have obviously preferred to see this hold and just keep pushing fast. But it is the 30-second. We got an imbalance here on the 1 minute. Just roll over for us. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Went ahead and hopped out. Reason for it, we just formed SMT with this low here with ES. So now we're up a little bit on the day, but I'm gonna watch this for like another 30 seconds to a minute to see what it does here. Let's see if closing was the right decision or if we follow through and this SMT fails anyway, boys. Just not liking how we're wicking these lows. We just formed our first SMT at the low as well, so we're not in a macro either, which is part of it. Part of my skepticism. Let's see. Let's see. Entry was 705 and a quarter. So this is where I would have been stopped at break even. Just a couple ticks below that. Just a little guy. Just a little guy. 1 minute for a value gap. Let's see. We going lower or what? Macro's over here. This lunch macro. Are we gonna get to the low before we hit the macro? Yeah, look at that. This would have been full. So you guys see what I was saying earlier. I was talking about the only tweak I would make to my trading going forward would be taking more trades where I just let everything play out, full pull, one stop, one TP, no partials. Because I told you guys I felt like last year when I was reflecting over my trading performance, I felt like I just limited my upside a lot because of partialing and because of over management. So again, you can be profitable, you know, doing like the tiny little partials and managing your trade as best you can in the moment. So not saying that it's bad, like you can't be profitable doing it, but from my own due diligence, it seems like it's limited my upside a lot of times. There's been times it's saved my ass too, but that's just the nature of the beast. Also, I put the time and sales thing on my Top Step X, not because I'm using it, but because I just think it kind of looks cool. And I just had the order over here and then like a bunch of blank space. Before anybody asks, I'm not actually looking at the time and sales. It does kind of look cool though. See the flurry of red coming in? Oh boy. Look at that. Oh, we're getting orders coming in now. Oh, not a lot of green. They're fighting, dude. You get a flurry of red, flurry of green. Holy cow. A little flurry of red here, green, yeah. That's why the time in sales, like people that read it and use it for like order flow trading, I'm just like, dude, you'd be changing your mind every 2 seconds. I feel like. I have a habit of over managing my trades. There are times when I have meat on the bone, but at the same time I have seen it rip back up in my face. Yeah, exactly, Mason. That's the hard part, right? Is and this is the only thing that I would self-criticize myself on is sometimes I will try to cherry pick what days I hold and what days I don't. And ultimately, I would just prefer to be in a state of something constant. I want to do something the same way every time as much as I can. You know, I don't want to one day do this and another day do that. I think once you get into the whole cherry picking, it's just a slippery slope, and I think it just opens the door for being more emotional, going on tilt when you know, cherry pick incorrectly. You guess wrong, right? So to avoid expending the mental and emotional capital, it'd be nice to be more constant. So that'd be a self criticism that I would have toward myself, and something that I think would improve my performance ultimately. And then you just don't have to make as many decisions. Like, it's hard enough to do analysis and pick a bias and then find your entry and, you know what I mean, set up your trade. But then it's, if you're living and dying with every candle, it just feels more exhausting. You're expending way more mental capital. Versus if your rule is like, I just do this every time, and what happens, whether it's a stop or a TP, is out of your control. You can see how that'd be a little bit more peace of mind throughout the course of a trade. But, you know, at the same time, you never want to be too rigid, just because I hate when you're talking about trading here. It's an ever-changing market. There's always new data, new stuff popping up literally every minute. So, I'm not saying you can never like be open to new information. You could change your mind, right? For example, you might set a TP at a low, but let's say ES hits that low first. Well, it's like, what are you going to do? Just stubbornly hold your trade? Like, to me, those are good excuses to close. Or at least go break even, right? It would be pretty silly if you took an entry like up here and you were like really close to your stop, like you went 75% of the way to target, and then you were to like let it come all the way back against you and stop you out. I think that'd be pretty foolish. Yeah, the main problem with jam and stop up to entry so fast, like some people do it like, you know, the moment they get in profit, they just like instantly drag it up. And I'm guilty of moving it up too soon sometimes as well. I would say the times I do it though, it's when I'm not super confident in the trade. You know, so I'm trying to play defense. So a lot of variables, but yeah, I guess for now I'm happy I closed that just because this is taking a while now. Macro starts in 10 minutes, so we'll see if this just kind of stays choppy until then. But yeah, the SMT at the low here was the reason for hopping out of the trade when I did. So end of the day, up with a small green, started small red after, and then missed the granddaddy move. That was unfortunate, but you know, not walking away with nothing, I guess. So yeah, it took something, Jacob. Can you believe it? I feel like moving it too early hurts me a lot. It makes me overtrade because mentally it drains me for $0. Yeah, I definitely 100% resonate with that, Anthony, as well. Like I said, one of my biggest flaws as a trader is sometimes I overanalyze and I overmanage, which is why I'm really considering just going to a more of a static, constant approach, one TP, one stop, and then really not managing it at all until, you know, one of those levels is hit or we're just so close to TP it wouldn't make sense to take a loss, if that makes sense, right? So yeah, you might see more of that style in me going forward on future streams, because it is something that I do just want to test out and just see if it helps, right? If it helps me create more upside, then great, you know. So yeah, I'm always gonna try to challenge myself to improve where I can, right? So why not? Could I show my executions? Yeah, I did already. Where were you at? Where were you, Jacob? Yeah, my entry on this was I had a limit set on my Trade-Evade account for a 15-second order block and changing the state. That did not get tapped, and I ended up entering on a 30-second bearish fair value gap. So the thought process behind the trade was we were tapping into a 1 minute bearish fair value gap here. This is high resistance liquidity. This is also a breaker. So this is a unicorn technically, but we're tapping into this. This already ran the high out here. Displacement down, and then we generated all of this lower resistance liquidity here, all these relative equal lows, trendline liquidity. So we tap into this on the 1 minute. So then I scaled into a 15-second, and I was waiting for a change in the state to grab an entry. It kind of formed a little funky looking, but ultimately this candle did put in a new high. So once we got a closure below here, that is a change in the state. So when we got the change in the state below this candle here, technically you could have just entered right off of this close. But this candle, but you can see it like gapped, a little volume imbalance here, and we gapped and we moved pretty quick away. So then I didn't get the entry here. I waited and then we pulled back into this. I had a limit set here on Trade-Evade at this level. That did not get tapped. And then when it looked like we were showing some weakness here, I was like, all right, I'm gonna hop in. So I got in here 705 and a quarter with a 30-second. It was a 30-second fair value gap here. Tap into it one more time. Still didn't get triggered on Trade-Evade. And then once we moved lower here, I canceled the limit order on Trade-Evade. Just held this. Took some little partials here just to make up for a loss, and then was leaving the rest to run to these lows. And then once we formed SMT here with ES, just hopped out of the rest of the trade. So that was the overall thought process. I still think lower prices is likely. Just didn't want to get, stop that break even as we're chopping around before the macro here, and then, you know what I'm saying? So there could still be a move to be had here if it doesn't just run it right when the macro begins or before. Everything's pretty efficient though. Like there's not really an inefficiency that it needs to trade back higher for, to be honest. Unless it was like going to come all the way back up and retest this fair value gap. Which I don't like that. I hate when price does that personally. I just think it's dirty. It's not clean. I don't like need enough fair value gap to get touched fucking 3 to 4 times before it sends price. So I just dislike trading in those types of conditions, but makes it hard to have conviction because you're just sitting there second guessing as it pulls back up and retests it for the 3rd time. You're just like, dude, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so that was that. Yeah, exactly, Anthony. Exactly. But all right, boys. I'm glad we at least got something here on the books for the rest of us that didn't catch the 2-stage delivery move today. If anybody's still hanging on, watching the stream, and you did catch this from our original idea, then yeah, kudos to you. You had an amazing day. And great way to end the week for NFP Friday. I will see you kids next week. CPI and PPI next week. Hope you guys have a fun weekend. If you guys are betting on the Super Bowl, good luck. I hope you win. And we'll hash it all out next week, boys. Appreciate you guys. Like the stream if you wouldn't mind before you head out. See you boys next week.
Our trade sits at his desk, coffee in hand. The NASDAQ charts on his screen, he's in command. He's a day trader, chasing dollars and dreams. Using ICT concepts, he's got some tricks up his sleeves. From Fibonacci retracements to volume spread analysis, Tyler knows the smart money. He's gaining NFP. every turn he's catching the high. Running with the smart money, kicking up dust. Tyler Trade's a day trader you can trust. He's dancing with the bulls, riding with the bears, making moves, taking risks, he's a millionaire. Dancing with the bulls, riding with the bears, making moves, taking risks, he's a millionaire.